Yo, what's going on, guys? Master here, and I'm back for another draft analysis on my channel. So yeah, this league is Dile, or I don't really know what it stands for, but it's known as Dile, and it's owned by Frozino and Killer, and I think Dig Dug now. So I just want to thank them for inviting me. This league is a semi-competitive league. It's not like the other leagues I've been joining, like Fluffy or other leagues like that. It's more for fun and just a bunch of people that are known in a UHC community coming together most likely and just playing some Pokemon. So this season, I'm trying to bring a lot of tech. I really drafted a really fun team that I think that I can use really, really well. But yeah, I'm gonna try to run some tech and run some creative ideas that I can run outside of the box and that I really can't do when I'm playing Wi-Fi or other competitive showdown leagues. But yeah, I adore this league. It's a National Dex AG with Gmaxes. So this is my second league I've ever played with Gmaxes, other than my Wi-Fi league that I'm playing in right now. Yeah, with custom tiering, and Gmaxes almost being like using mega points, but Gmaxes sadly can't hold choice items. So it does hinder a little bit of Gmaxes here and there, but most Gmaxes are going to be safe. So the way that it works, if you look on my screen, there's different tierings, like I said before, and there's A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, E tier, and your Gmax. So like the Gmaxes in regular leagues, they minus and plus points. So tier 1, as you see, can be negative 40, tier 2 0, and tier 3 that there's only 4. But plus you free pick points. So free pick points are just like, if you haven't watched draft, then I don't know why you're watching my channel. It's just 4 random free pick points at the very end, and I'll get into it. So the tiering that we drafted in, you get 1 A tier, 1 B tier, 2 C tiers, a D tier, and an E tier, all mandatory. You need a mandatory Gmax, and then you, like I said before, you have 4 free picks, so you can have 400 points plus or minus with Gmaxes to pick 4 Mons to fill in, so extra 4 Mons. So you can, with 400, you can pick an A tier, a B tier, a D tier, and an E tier, and that would all consist of 4 Mons in 400 points. But if you do pick a tier 1 Gmax, you do only have 360 points, so you're a little bit hindered here and there. But yeah, so hopefully I explained that pretty well. Yeah, so overall, there's 20 coaches in this league. There's some coaches that I've played before with, Sora Will. I played with Frozen a little bit. I played with Kenny. You obviously know Kenny. And Dile. So yeah, there's some really good players in this league. I think all of them are a really big threat. I'm obviously not going to sleep prep. I'm actually going to run Chinese sets a lot. Try to explore and try to be able to build, like I said before. So going through the draft order, as you can see, I played as the Delta Dragonades this season. I'm usually known as the London Luxface, but this season I wanted to do my second team because the Delta Dragonades haven't been shown a lot of love. But yeah, so as you can see, DDR, it was the second pick in the draft, and it was fantastic because there was a lot of things that I wanted to use. I'm very, very excited to use a different Gmax because I've been using Gmax Copperhead Jaw in my Wi-Fi league, and I'm in love with it. Setting up Steel Spikes is just fantastic, and it really suits what I like to do. But I really wanted an offensive Gmax, one that can actually put a lot of pressure on, especially for a lot of prep. So right off the bat, my first round pick, I ended up picking Gmax Charizard. So, at first, KenDog told me that Gmax Charizard's Wildfire set Sun, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I wasn't really planning on doing Sun, but but I was like, oh, that's so cool. It can also just break. So with Sun, in the Sun, Charizard, it has the ability Solar Power, as you can see. It base 1.5 and loses 1/8 of its max HP per turn. But I think that's a fairly big payoff. Also, it turns into 1/16 when I Gmax because my HP is doubled. So technically, it does 1/16 of my health. So it doesn't do 12%; it does 6%. So that's also very, very good if I can set up Sun and get Charizard Gmax in. Can be very good. I honestly do think Charizard Gmax is one of the top 2 best Gmaxes. I think Gmax Grimmsnarl and Charizard are both on par. They do both different things, but I love Charizard as its breaking potential. With 109 base special attack, especially if I have it in Sun, it's still a very, very big threat. Even if it's in base form, Charizard shouldn't be slept on. It has probably one of the best move pools in the whole entire game. It gets literally almost access to every single move in the game. Well, not move, but like typing in the game that gives them coverage. Like, I can run physical if I really want to with D-Dance. It also gets Roost and Defog. And with the ability to run now heavy duty boots in the game, Charizard doesn't have to worry about Stealth Rocks. And that's why Charizard and Moltres have been like so low tier, because 50% chance to rocks suck. But with heavy duty boots now, Charizard can come in for free, and I don't really have to worry about hazard control. Because if I was building in Gen 7, I would have to think about I need defoggers, spinners to make Charizard shine. But no, not anymore, because I can run heavy duty boots, and I can drop this thing in, full HP, no hazards, no spikes, no anything, and literally get a kill. Also, why Charizard's so good, in Gmax form, max Airstream boosts your speed by 1.5, so when I run Hurricane for max damage, or Air Slash, or something like that, I get a speed boost. And once I'm out of speed boost and in Sun, nothing really wants to switch into me, especially when I'm hitting max Wildfires. If I didn't explain what max Wildfire does, it's a hazard, it's a fire hazard that works for 4 to 5 turns and does 1/6 of the opponent's HP. So it doesn't matter if you come in, you're taking damage. Which I find fantastic, especially it'll help Charizard break more. Especially getting the speed boost and max G Wildfire off can really, really be threatening for stuff like that. As well as it does pack Solar Beam. When G-Maxing, it does do G-Max Overgrown. Oh, no, Max Overgrown. So I can hit bulkier water types that try to wall out Charizard. So yeah, I try to build my team. I'll stop talking about my G-Max, even though it's like the most important part of my team. Started building around G-Max Charizard. Trying to find some breakers here and there, and yeah, it's just move pool is fantastic. I'm not gonna go through every little thing, because I do want to bring some surprise and stuff, as well as it gets max lightning with Thunder Punch. But physical Charizard isn't bad. Base 84 is not that bad, but especially when it has a chance to D-Dance and also gets access to Roost now, it can be very, very threatening. Also counter would be kind of insane, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so moving on. I wanted to go now because I had to wait 36 more picks until I was gonna pick, and I saw a lot of things going that I really wanted. I saw Rotom Wash leave me. I saw some very, very like bulky stuff that can go really, really well with Charizard. Because every so often I don't want to run heavy duty boots, and maybe I want to run like a berry or something like that. I saw some Sand Cores, I saw Tapu Fini go, I saw a lot of like things like Pivot Mons, Fast Mons, and a little bit of Wall Breakers, and stuff like Sand, and like a very, very bulky wall, two Pokemon Wall Cores being made. So I really wanted to get a breaker that was really, really value, because I would have just picked 2 Mons later, because Killer was ahead of me, and so he was number 1 and I was number 2, so I had only really wait 2 more picks. But yeah, so I ended up picking up Terrakion in Tier B. I think Terrakion in Tier B, I'll put Gmax, is a really, really big steal. Terrakion is one of the biggest threat in the OU metagame right now. Now that the Trio's been banned, it's gonna run through teams. There's no really good safe switching in Terrakion. Terrakion is just so powerful, and if you really know your stuff, you know how hard it is to prep for Terrakion. Terrakion is just a monster. It also gives me some Stealth Rocks, it gives me some setup with Swords Dance, it gives me a very, very good viable Scarf user, it gives me a good Choice Band user, and it also pressures things like prep. It forces a lot of prep, especially when people have to prep for my Gmax Charizard that can be setting up on you. They also have to have a wall for Terrakion. These two break almost the same thing, but at the same time, Terrakion and Charizard break their checks. They can break bulky waters. They can break ground types. Very, very well. The only thing that I'm worried about that Terrakion can't really break is bulky psychic types, but it does get access to Taunt and Scissor and stuff like that, and I can run certain things here and there to break through some stuff. And Terrakion's very, very big threat, and especially in B tier. It didn't cost me anything. It didn't cost me anything extra to get this monster. As well as it gives me a base 108 speed stat. It makes me have some really, really good speed tiers. But yeah, overall, I think Terrakion's a huge threat, and I thought it was a really, really good value to pick it up in round 2 and in tier 2. So next, I only had to wait 2 more picks. I ended up picking something that really goes with my team. I really wanted something like that can flow. And that was really, really, really big value that I saw my eye as soon as the draft tiers came out. I was like, this thing is in D tier. I need it, and it's Savali. Okay, so Savali is amazing, and in D tier, that means I still get my 2 C tiers and an E tier, and I still have my 400 free pick points, and I'm not costing myself anything. I know Savali tier 3 might seem a little bit like, oh, why is he doing this? But Savali is really, really underrated now due to the fact that its multi-attack is base power 120. It's the same base power as Judgment from Arceus. It's just from a little bit of weaker mon. Savali really gives me what I need. It gives me momentum and defog. And I love this because every single week I can run a different Savali. I can run how I want it. If I need something to something to 1v1 or wall out something, like a Reuniclus, I can run Savali Dark, and that Reuniclus cannot wall me anymore. It also gives me putting shot priority, so it helps me set up sweep with Gmax Charizard and Terrakion more, lowering both attack stats. So because Gmax Charizard and Terrakion are fairly bulky respectively, like they're bulky wall breakers, they're bulky offense. And man, yeah, Savali gets a very, very good move pool that can help me out in certain situations. Yeah, I think Savali is one of those mons like is very, very slept on. Especially when it comes to like what I need. Due to the fact that it can be any single type that I would like. It can force out certain things, and yeah. But in D2, I thought it was really, really good value. I thought Terrakion and Savali were really, really good value. And they really flow with my team, especially because Savali can become my main defogger. And it still can put in work as it still roll as a defogger. So yeah, next I still had to wait 36 more picks until I was picking. I saw a lot of good chords like Fairy Dragon Steel chords and Fire Water Grass chords being made. I saw a lot of offense being made. A lot of pivots and a couple wall breakers, which were a little bit scary. So I really wanted to focus on some of my bulk that I can get, especially that I have a pretty big water weakness, just with my 2 walls. Savali could run like grass, sorry, my cough, or water if I really wanted to. But I just wanted to immune that altogether, and I picked up Vaporeon. I think Vaporeon is one of the best. It's the out of 2. It's the best Water Wish Passer in the game, especially giving me a water immunity, which will fantastically help Terrakion and Charizard not getting swept by offensive waters, like Greninja, like Inteleon, and stuff like that. It really does well at what it does. Unfortunately, dry passing is banned, so it can't become a pivot, which really, really sucks, and it hinders this mon's creativity ability a lot. But as a Wish Heal Beller Protect Scald user is fantastic, especially with a base 110 special attack. Is still very, very good, and it does hit very, very hard. Specs Vaporeon is something that you shouldn't be sleeping on. It's just like Sylveon. I think Sylveon's one of the best evolution, and then it's Vaporeon right now. Especially with 130 base HP, I can live a lot of hits, and I can run mixed defenses to wall out certain things that I don't want to deal with my 2 wall breakers. Yeah. I'm very, very excited to use Vaporeon again. I haven't used it in so long, and even though it doesn't get HPs, it didn't really hinder what it can do a lot. But if it did have Baton Pass, also it's a phaser. It also has Haze. Yeah. As well as it helps me with my speed stat. I have like 108, 195, and then 65, and it can outspeed a lot of really good walls. So yeah, waiting 2 more picks when Killer picked. He picked up like Slowking and Klefki, and Klefki actually was on one of my radars, which was low-key a really, really big snipe, but at the same time, I was still gonna gun for, like, some Sun, like, Torkoal, Ninetales was drafted by this time, but I really, really wanted a gun for Torkoal, because Torkoal gives me a spinner and stuff, but spoiler, I didn't get it. But next, I wanted to pick a mon that really helps in Sun, and it's Helios. Helios gives me another water immunity. Yes, it adds to my ground types, but like I said before, Savali can cover it up, and I do have a flying type. Fighting types, it adds another weakness, but offensively, Helios, I think, is one of the best electric types in the game, especially in, oh wait, this was C tier, sorry. Adding another C tier, so I end up picking up my 2 C tiers. I think Helios is very, very offensive, and a lot of things don't want to switch into Helios, due to the fact that it gets Surf and Grass Knot, because since, Hidden Powers were taken out in this gen, hidden powers were taken on this gen. So like things like Thunder's Therian, things like Jolteon can't run HPIs to beat down ground types, even though Thunder's Therian does get grass dot. But things like that can't really beat its checks with HPIs. But with this thing, it can beat its only switching in ground types, as well as stab hyper voices can be very, very, very good. And the only thing that really, really walls this thing is ground steel types. But as well as I still have Surf, I still have Focus Blast, and both of my 2 wall breakers right now break through steel types. Like, I'm not worried about steel types at all in my whole entire draft right now. It gives me a base 109, so it also gives me a very viable Specs user and a Scarf user as well with Terrakion. It gives me Volt Switch, so I have a really good Volt turn now with Savali, Party Shot, or U-turn, and Helios. As well as Helios does get U-turn, which I love to have electric types do. That's why I love Thunder's Therian so much, because it does have access to U-turn. Even though it's not as powerful as Thunder's Therian, it's still very, very good. As well as it gives me ability to paralyze Pokemon at 100% with Glare. Also, Helios has a weird tech that I was reeling that like I'm gonna save in the back, but I'm gonna just scroll down here and yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. But yeah, so I'm very, very excited to use Helios. I've never used it in Draft League, but as well, it gives me 2 Dracovish counters, by the way. I need Dracovish counters. So if I run Savali's Fairy with these 2 Dracovish counters, I have 2 of the best switch-ins to Dracovish out of like 4 in the whole entire Draft League. Which is very, very good. I still need a ground type. I need a fairy type. I need a lot of things on my team. But I just have a really, really good dual breaking pivot core and a really, really good wall breaker, which I'm very fancied a lot. So next, I had to wait a long time. And I was really, really confused on what I wanted to get from here. I got what I really, really wanted. I got the Stutter Sun. Torkoal was in the back. I was thinking, oh, I'll just get Torkoal because... So Helios gets solar power, if you guys didn't know, which is also Charizard's thing, and it can be very, very threatening. So I was looking at dragon types. I was like, oh, Gudra's good. Nidoking as a ground type could be good with T-Spikes. I was also thinking of like Bulu. I was thinking of Webs. I thought the Web offense with this team is very, very, very good. I was looking at Bombi. I was looking at a lot of different things. Orbeetle. Noivern. So I was thinking of like different things. So if I could go like Gudra, Nidoking, Bulu, or Rabombi, Gudra, Nidoking, or Orbeetle, Noivern, Rabombi, or Rabombi, Noivern, Nidoking, or something like that, because I wanted another flying type. You know that I love to have everything off the ground, just to be immune from EQ, and that's just how I play. I didn't want to have Rabombi and Noivern on the same team, just due to the fact that I have Helios and Terrakion have 1 speed 2 difference, so it doesn't really, really, really matter, other than Helios outspeeds the Swords of Justice and Infernape. But 23 and 24 speed 2s don't really, really matter that much, so I ended up picking up Noivern. Noivern gives me a really, really good dragon type that hits also hard with Hyper Voice with Helios. As well as the ability Frisk and Infiltrator are very, very good. I can lead off with Noivern, and I can know the Pokemon's item, and I know what right off of what the item, if there's Scarf, if there's Specs, I can really, really deduce what sets they are. Due to the fact like, oh, if he's a Scarfer, then this thing might not be Scarf, because I don't think they're until Scarf. Also, it gives me another Mon off the ground. I just really, really like Mons off the ground. It gives me a really, really good speed stat in 123. One of the fastest Mons in the game right now. As well as it gives me heavy duty boost defog, which is fantastic. It gives me some Roost, it gives me Hurricane, it gives me Hyper Voice, it gives me Draco. It also gives me another fast U-turner, which I just adore. Yeah, it gives me a fast taunt user as well, which is very, very fantastic. Yeah, I just really, really wanted a dragon type. When I started building this team, I never thought I wouldn't grab a dragon type. At first, I was like, I don't need a dragon type. Savali can be my dragon type. But I was like, Helios goes really, really well with this team. Ice types do not like to switch in on my team at all. Yeah, like Weaviles and like Sneasels don't do that great against my team. But yeah, so next I needed Webs. Webs was a very, very thing with my team, because if Sun got sniped, I was going to go like Torkoal, Venusaur, a Selgor. For spikes, Sun, Chlorophyll, Sweeper. But I was like, I need webs on this team. Webs with this team is nasty. Because the way that people would break down Tracheon and like hinder Tracheon is if I have to be forced to run Scarf every single game, if Helios has to be run with a Scarf every game, yes. So I was thinking of Bombi, but like I said before, I didn't want to, this was also, I think this was C tier, I think. Yeah, this was C tier. But I didn't want to hinder my speed tiers, like I said before. So I ended up picking up Orbeetle. Man, I have this in WPL, and I'm in love with this thing. It's so defensively bulky, especially it pairs well, giving me a perfect switch into Psychic types. It beats down Psychic types all day, every single day. It can beat Dark types. It can beat Ghost types. I'm recording. It gives me webs and recovery, which I need. Can you mute, please? As well as with Vaporeon, it gives me insane Wish Pass, because Orbeetle is so bulky. I ran a mixed bulky, and it walled up some Q and Blacks for me. Base 90 speed stat for a wall is very, very good, and base 80 special attack isn't that bad at all. Even though it can't get Baton Pass, it gets Recovery, it gets Calm Mind, it gets Sticky Webs. I can run Calm Mind Stored Power with Acid Armor, and then run Bug Buzz or something to beat down Dark types. It's very, very scary at what it does. It gives me a Trick User, it gives me a Trick User, it gives me a U-turn. Slow U-turn, quote-unquote, but base 90 speed. But yeah, I wonder if this thing gets Teleport. Oh, if this thing got Teleport, that would have been really, really good. But yeah, Orbeetle just fits on this team perfectly. It gives me another ground resistant now that but I still kind of lose to, Quake Edge, like Earthquake Stone Edge. This team is very, very vulnerable to that, but, Orbeetle can take a Stone Edge. I'll tell you that. So next, Torkoal just got sniped. So Torkoal got sniped 2 picks before me, and I was gonna go for Torkoal because I wanted more hazard removal. I needed a spinner. I still have very, very good defoggers. I have 3 defoggers that are very, very, 2 defoggers that are really, really good. Heavy Duty Boots, Noivern defog is very good, and Savali is really, really good at defog. But then I was just like, I need more hazards because I only have Stealth Rocks and Sticky Webs. And Stealth Rocks are on one of my breakers, and I didn't really want to do that. So I also need a spin blocker to get rid of Dumber. So I picked up Runagus? Sorry. It's also a bulky wall. It's also weak to Dark types, which I really didn't mind at all because I have Justified on Tracheon. It's a very, very physical wall, which I adore. It gives me a ground type, a spin blocker. It gives me Stealth Rocks. It gives me a setup stopper due to the fact that it has Wandering Spirit. It gives me Body Press. It gives me setup. It gives me another Phaser. It gives me a Mon that I can actually wish into with Vaporeon. And these two together, Vaporeon and Runagus, are a very, very good core. It gives me a Memento user. It gives me, like I said, Stealth Rocks, Trick. It gives me Trick Room. It gives me Willow. It gives me T-Spikes. And I think T-Spikes are one of the most underrated hazards in the game. And it's very, very vital, I think, to have T-Spikes. But yeah, Runagus gives me really, really, really good stuff. It really just glues my team together, especially having a bunch of fighting stuff with fighting types that I really, really didn't want to deal with. And it gives me a perfect ground type, which I was looking for a long, long time. But it actually kind of helped me that I got sniped from Torkoal. Torkoal just gave me a bunch of holes, but I'm very, very happy with Runagus. So next, moving on, that was round 8. So moving on to round 9, I wanted an E tier for value, so I ended up picking Hop Haunter. Shout out to Ken Dog. I think Haunter is a very, very good breaker. It gives me another base 95 speed that can utilize webs. It gives me a Levitator, which I could really, really use, especially so I don't lose to Edgequake. That's what it's called, Edgequake, not Quake Edge. Edgequake. Haunter, if you sleep on it, can win games. With Shadow Ball, and No Pursuit, Ghost types are insanely powerful in this generation. That's why like Gengar is so scary, and I just think Haunter with specs can really put in work and really throw off opponents if they don't prep with them, because Sludge Wave and Shadow Ball are very hard to come into. Yes, it's very frail, but it's mostly there to just get some damage done, so Terrakion and Charizard can do its thing. But yeah, that's the only reason why I picked up Haunter. It just gives me like some more options to break. So next I had my A tier left and a C tier left. Oh, this was D tier. These both were D tier and Orbeetle was C tier. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is how it worked. I picked up. It went. Oh, why is this? Okay, so it went like this. Noivern was free picks, and then Orbeetle and Ryun were also free picks. So next, I had a C tier left with 100 points left in my free picks, and an A tier that I just forgot about. I didn't really want to go for A tier because everything that was in there, only like 3 people could pick up their A tiers, and I knew they weren't going to go for this. Somehow in round 10, I got Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu gives me my Fire Water Grass core. It gives me a Fairy type. It gives me a Grass type. It gives me. Now, my team can switch into Earthquakes. With grassy terrain, has the power of Earthquakes, so my team now can switch into Earthquakes freely. Due to the fact that Earthquake does get reduced. With no HPs, I don't have to randomly watch out for random HP poison on like a freaking Kyurem Black or something like that. Or something that like Bulu can't, like a Reuniclus, if it has a random HP poison and just one-shots me. Yeah. Bulu gives me a really good attack stat as well as a defense stat. Bulu is very versatile, especially there's not a lot of switch-ins in the game that can come into this. I think only really like Skarmory Celesteela can come to it, but I do have a Charizard right there that can break through it, and I do have a Heliolisk. Yeah, so Bulu is so powerful at what it does. Boosting Grassy Terrain boosts up his grass moves, so Wood Hammer and Horn Leech just do a tremendous amount of damage. As well as Grassy Terrain heals me, and I could really be helpful for my wall core. With Orbeetle, Ryun, Savali, and Vaporeon, it could be very helpful. I'm getting like 12% back, other than 6% back. Sub Bulu is very good. Bulk Up Bulu is very good with Spam Horn Leech. Nothing really wants to come in on Bulu, and that was the whole play with it. If I start dropping Wood Hammers on stuff and breaking down checks that Charizard and Terrakion don't really want to deal with, like bulky grass types or bulky water types mostly, Terrakion and Charizard will have free switches and free setup every single time. People need to prep for Bulu. If they don't prep for Bulu, I think you might just lose right away. Yeah, Bulu has a lot of good things going with it. It also taunt and synthesis. And yeah, it can really heal itself with leftovers, Horn Leech, and grassy terrain. Yeah, and I'm very happy that I got it in round 10. Usually it's like a first round 1 or 2 pick, but I guess no one really wanted to build around it. But I will. I just slapped it on because I wanted more power. And my last one, I never used ever before in Draft League, and I really wanted to use it, is Meloetta. So, with Meloetta and Bulu, I was thinking about, yes, ground dark types right now destroy me. But I want to bait in dark type, so I can break with Terrakion. Because I think there's no dark type in the whole entire format that can 1v1 the Terrakion. I'm sorry. I don't think, Grimmsnarl can. I don't think Weavile can. That was my whole purpose with this. If I can get Terrakion in for free and just start clicking spam CC and Stone Edge, I will. And that's the whole point of me having 2 ghost types and 2 psychic types at the end. As well as Meloetta isn't a psychic type, technically. With pure wet form, it gets into a fighting type, and also then I break my counters. I break a bulky dark type that tries to beat me. Yeah, and I find that fantastic. Meloetta and Bulu are also very good bulky, offensive attackers. They can run a lot of bulk in defense and HP, and HP and special defense respectively, and really do a lot of damage. Meloetta's PR form is very, very good. And also, Meloetta shouldn't be slept on. With 128 special defense, it's very, very tanky. And it also, Bulu and Meloetta also, like, viable to get wishes from my Vaporeon. And I think they do synergize well as well. Give me another U-turn user, which I was looking for at the very, very end. Yeah, so that's my draft. I'm very excited to use it. There's a lot of things, like, don't have to run bulky wall-breaking offense. I can run web offense. I can run tech offense. I can run sun. I can run a lot of different things. I don't even have to bring Charizard and Terrakion to break through people's teams, and that's what I really wanted to emphasize. I don't have to bring my wall breakers to win, and as well as my walls are very, very good at what they do. So I'm very excited to use this draft. Thank you guys all for watching. Shout out to Gendog because I think he joined my channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.